In the future, there are a handful of events that they are going to look back and study just to analyze how big of a blunder they actually were. I think Star Wars is going to be one of the biggest studies that they have of how you take one of the most popular IPs known to man and absolutely flush it down the toilet. On the culture war side of things, how Bud Light was able to destroy their entire name brand within a month. And then they're also going to study DC and Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is just as bad as the rest of them. These people don't know how to get out of their own way. The Flash is officially one of the biggest DC flops of all time. It is the second worst comic book movie ever, and it may pass the worst one, which is Morbius. It's still possible for that to happen, which is just insane to me. I knew the numbers for this movie were going to be bad, but the worst that I honestly thought was it was going to break even. There was so much hype for this movie, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But a lot of people were talking about it, and a lot of people were building it up, and we heard all the right things, and there was a lot of anticipation for this movie. It was taking so long to be made. I think they started around 2015, and within one announcement and a couple of mismanaged decisions, you get this. The Flash movie's miserable box office keeps getting worse. So it says here, the DC superhero film's ticket sales dropped an astonishing 73% in its second week in theaters. That is insane. And as I said, I've not seen the movie, but I have seen pieces of the movie. I have seen many, many clips. I've seen the opening scene. I've seen how bad the CGI is. I know what happens. It is a catastrophe. This could have been a fantastic story based off of the comics, the Flashpoint. This could have been awesome, but they flushed it down the toilet because these people that are in charge have zero idea what they're doing. It says here, overall, The Flash has made a truly meager $87 million domestically and a likewise dire $211 million worldwide. Quote, the movie is being rejected by audiences on a wholesale basis. And look at how just insulting this is. I'm sure this has happened before with Fandango and movies, but I have never seen anything like this. Buy one ticket, get one free. That's how desperate they are for people to come see this movie. That is insane. Maybe this has happened before with Fandango. I don't know. But I mean, you have to remember the hype that came with this movie, right? I mean, this is what we saw when we were talking about The Flash, the early reviews. Tremendous. Chef's kiss. Believe the hype. Excellent. I mean, it just goes on. Look at this. It goes on and on and on and on. And this thing is a massive catastrophe. You got James Gunn, the guy who is in charge of DC moving forward, coming out openly saying that this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. And it is the biggest flop that DC has ever put out so far. It's mind-boggling that the guy that's going to be running DC moving forward loves this movie so much. I can only imagine what he's going to put out. But coming over here to this article, just to give you an idea of how much money they're going to lose, it says here, The Flash collapses in its second weekend at the box office with a massive 72% drop. Analyst predicts the film will lose at least $150 million. Now, I honestly, and a lot of others, are saying they're going to lose more than that. And the reason being is we know that there were a lot of reshoots that took place with this movie that they are not taking into consideration when they're talking about the production cost. So more than likely that they're going to lose probably 200 or if not more $1 million on this film. They're even saying it would have saved them money by just throwing it in the trash. By not releasing it at all like they did with Batgirl, they would have saved money by doing that, or just releasing it directly to HBO Max, well, now called Max. Comparing the film to other DCEU films, The Flash is one of the worst performing films as it stands right now. The only films it's outperformed at the worldwide box office are Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 84, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I mean, this movie had everything going against it. You have Ezra Miller, who's been involved in all these physical violence situations, but of course, he's a protected class of person, so they weren't going to get rid of him. Then you have James Gunn come out and basically say that, hey, everything that you're about to see this summer means absolutely nothing with DC moving forward because I'm going to come in and I'm going to start over. I'm very surprised that it did this poorly, but honestly, I am happy They all deserve this because they don't care about fans. They don't care about what fans want. And I'm not saying listen to every little thing a fan says, but you got to listen to your audience. You got to give them what they want, because if you don't, they're clearly not going to show up. Everyone keeps saying it's superhero fatigue. It's superhero fatigue. It's not superhero fatigue. It's bad story fatigue. It's garbage writing fatigue. Stop pumping out trash and people will show up. But I personally think the brand of DC, it's dead. They've done too much damage. It's going to take a very long time for them to rebuild and start over and start fresh. It's all a disaster, and I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. But I always want to hear what you guys think, so let me know what you think about this down below. Again, did you think that this was going to be this bad of a film? Did you think it was going to do this poorly at the theaters? Do you think James Gunn is safe moving forward since he endorsed this film? Or do you think that might be in jeopardy? Let me know your thoughts down below. I always love to see what you guys are talking about. If you liked the video, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, take care.